All right. This is number 33. We'll start changing the numbers, putting in the number sign in front of the 33, which is not a big deal to anyone but me. I think it leaves one space open for the title. Okay, we're going to continue to do the 12 sun salutations today. Just make sure when you're doing these poses that you're focusing on the breathing. That's the main thing. You focus on the breathing and just accept where you are. And these movements, the sun salutation, will become a form of a moving meditation. So let's just go ahead and begin. And I'm going to try to explain them in the first two and what you should do. And then after that, I'm just going to lead you through each pose. I will tell you which leg to take back and which leg to take forward. So go to mountain pose, feet are shoulder width apart, knees are slightly bent, hips are tilted, shoulders relax, arms relax. Now think of yourself as being tall, so lengthen up, and you're just finding that spot where the skeleton's just standing. No tension anywhere, and your focus is on the breathing. So when you go into each pose, you want to make sure you settle in the pose, you set where you are, focus on the breathing, and that focus is what allows the mind and body to become one, which is yoga. Now the palms come together, thumbs go to the heart center. Now when I push out, up and back, my hands will disappear from the camera. So you go up. So technically you do the prayer. So you go up and back. I go out a little bit, and I'm just adjusting it for my body. And you do the same thing. You might want to just go up like this. So just do what you can. Just accept it, and that's what we're learning on the yoga mat, acceptance. So push the arms out, up and back. Inhale slowly. Exhale. As you exhale, you hinge forward from the lower back. Palms go to the calves. Elbows into the sides of the legs. Foreheads go into the knees. And you're just focusing on the breathing. It's only the second movement, the second bend. So just listen to the body. Don't push past where you think you should be, or don't push past where you can be. So palms go down to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge. Now with the low lunge, top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor. The hips are square. And they're pushing forward but diagonally. Back is straight, maybe slightly arched. You need to start off with the fingers going up or the palms, whatever you need to do. Settle in the pose, accept where you are, focus on the breathing, let the mind and body become one. Then we're going to go into the downward dog. Before you go into downward dog, you go into the high lunge. So the toes go under, knee goes up, settle there just for a second, then downward dog. Pushing into it, arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones going to the ceiling, heels are going towards the floor, and you're just pushing into it, just a little bit, listen to the body. Just focus on the breathing. Now you can slide into the upper dog. So you drop down to the knees and the chest, you slide up. Tops of the feet are to the floor. Now you're going to modify this pose how you have to. So if you need to go down to the small cobra, that's what you do, the small cobra. So the chest is off the floor, shoulders are up, no pressure on the hands. The hands are touching the floor, but you're not pushing up, you're pulling up. The back muscles are pull muscles. So you're pulling up. Or just modify it how you have to. Focus on the breathing. Now back to downward dog. And you're pushing into it a little bit. Something on my mat. Now you're going to do a low lunge. So left foot is up. I will tell you which foot to bring up and back. So the top of the foot's to the floor, knees to the floor. Hips are square. You're pushing them forward diagonally. Back is straight, maybe arch. Use your fingers if you need to, palms. You might start off with your fingers, and as we move through, you're going down to the palms because you're loosening up. And everything's going to be a low lunge. So you always, when you go back, you're always going to have the knee to the floor. So standing forward bend, so you go into the high lunge first. So the toes curl under, knee goes up, then go into the standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down. And in this pose, you're going to let yourself breathe. So when you inhale, the belly swells up with air, so it pushes you out of the pose slightly. And then when you exhale, the belly goes in, and you go into the pose a little bit more. So you're focused on the breathing, but you're aware of that subtle movement. So palms together, reach out, up and back. Inhale, exhale, and again. Inhale, exhale, hinge forward from the lower back. Palms go to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs, foreheads go into the knees. Pull yourself in and down, but you're still listening to the body. And focusing on the breathing. So palms down to the sides of the feet. Right leg is back into a low lunge. Again, with the low lunge, with the back foot, top of the foot's to the floor, knees to the floor. Make sure the knee's not going over the toe too much in the front. If it is, you need to lengthen up some. Use your fingers if that's where you are. Palms. So you're going to settle on the pose, accept where you are physically, focusing on the breathing, letting the mind and body become one. Now think of the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up into a high lunge. Now we go into the downward dog. The downward dog again, arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones go to the ceiling, heels into the floor or towards the floor. Focusing on the breathing. You're pushing a little bit, but not too much. So you get where you should be, accept where you are. Don't try to be somewhere, just accept where you are. Focus on the breathing. Then you slide into the upper dog, drop down to the knees and the chest, you slide up. Again, top of the feet are to the floor, or tops of the feet are to the floor. And if you need to modify this, you do the small cobra. The chest is up, hands are up, using the back muscles. So you're pulling up. Modify it how you have to. Accept where you are and focus on the breathing. Back to downward dog. Again, you're pushing into it. In each pose, you're pushing a little bit more, if you want, if you need. If you don't think you should, then don't do it. The right foot is up between the hands. Low lunge, that means the knees to the floor, top of the foot to the floor, square up the shoulders. I'm sorry, not the shoulders. Well, the shoulders are square, but square up the hips, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arched, maybe, or maybe straight. Accept where you are, focus on the breathing. Now you're going to move into the standing forward bend. So you go into the high lunge first, then standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down, focusing on the breathing. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Exhale. Then we're going to do 10 more. So that was 2. Inhale, exhale. Pull yourself in and down. Set where you are. Focus on the breathing. Palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge. Set on the pose. Set where you are. Focus on the breathing. Downward dog. Pushing into it. Arms are straight. Legs are straight. Tailbones to the ceiling. Heels towards the floor. No tension in the neck. So the head is dangling. And focus on the breathing. Slide into the upper dog and modify it how you have to. Set where you are and just focus on the breathing. Downward dog, pushing into it a little bit more. Again, pushing into these more and more. If you feel like that's what you should do, listen to your body. Left foot is up between the hands, low lunge. Settle in it, accept where you are, and focus on the breathing. Standing forward bend, put yourself in and down. Let yourself breathe. Just focus on the breathing. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, and palms out, push your down and out, exhale, inhale, exhale, hinge forward from the lower back, pull yourself in and down, and focus on the breathing. Again, focusing allows the mind and body to become one, which makes you aware of the movements, but you're not focused on the movements. Palms to the side of the feet, right leg is back into a low lunge. Settle in the pose, accept where you are, focus on the breathing. I know I keep on saying that, but it's extremely important, so I will continue to say it just to remind you. Downward dog. Upper dog, modify it how you have to. Just focus on the breathing. In this pose, you really just accept where you are. Well, all the poses, but this one is difficult. It's difficult for me. Downward dog. Right foot is up between the hands, little lunge. Just focus on the breathing. Standing forward bend. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Exhale. 8 more, inhale. Exhale. Pull yourself in and down, focusing on the breathing. Palms to the sides of the feet, left leg is back into a low lunge. Downward dog. Upward dog, or modify it how you have to. Downward dog. Left foot is up between the hands, low lunge. Standing forward bend. Arms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Focusing on the breathing. Palms to the sides of the feet, right leg is back, low lunge. Downward dog. Upward dog. Modify it how you have to. Downward dog. Right foot is up between the hands, low lunge. Standing forward bend. Palms together, reach out, up and back. Inhale. Exhale. 6 more. Go into these a little bit more. Only if you feel like you should. Just push a little bit more. Standing forward bend. So you get to the spot where you should be, or think you should be, and just a little bit push into it. Only if you feel like you should. You're going to just accept it. And then focus on the breathing. Left leg is back, low lunge. Downward dog. Upward dog. Downward dog. Left foot is up between the hands, little lunge. Standing forward bend. Palms together, reach out. Up and back, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Standing forward bend. Palms to the sides of the feet, right leg is back. Little lunge. Downward dog. Upward dog, and modify it how you have to. Downward dog. Right foot is up between the hands, little lunge. Standing forward bend. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Exhale. 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. Standing forward bend. Remember, you're focusing on the breathing. Your mind will wander, or maybe it doesn't, but it usually wanders. Left leg is back into a little lunge. And when you realize your mind has wandered, you're thinking about other things, don't judge it. Just simply bring your awareness back to the breathing. Downward dog. Remember that focus allows the mind and body to become one. So you're focused on the breathing. Upward dog. Accepting where you are. Downward dog. Left foot is up between the hands, low lunge. Standing forward bend. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Standing forward bend. Again, focus on the breathing. Focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. Right leg is back into a low lunge. You're pushing into the poses a little bit more than you were before, so you should be loosening up. And if not, back away a little bit. Accept where you are. Listen to your body. Downward dog. You're your own guru, so you know where you should be. That's what you need to learn about your own body. Listening to it. What I mean, upward dog, and what I mean is that we all need to learn that. We need to listen to ourselves. Back to downward dog. Again, focusing on the breathing. That focus allows the mind and body to become one, which is yoga. Right foot is up. Low lunge. Standing forward bend. Together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Exhale, two more. Inhale. Exhale. Again, go into these a little bit more. Last two. Focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. Left leg is back. Low lunge. Set where you are. Settle the poses. Downward dog. You settle in the poses and you just accept where you are and focus on the breathing. Upward dog. And the movements become a form of a moving meditation. Downward dog. Left foot is up, low lunge. Standing forward bend. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale, focusing on the breathing. Right leg is back, low lunge. Downward dog. Upward dog. Downward dog. Right foot is up between hands, low lunge. Standing forward bend. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. And exhale. And back to mountain pose. Remember, with mountain pose, feet are shoulder width apart. Toes go up, spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent slightly, maybe. Hips are tilted. No tension in the shoulders or arms. Then you're going to think of yourself as being tall. So lengthen up. Find that spot where the skeleton is just standing. and just focus on the breathing. Bring the palms together. Namaste. And that's it. There's 12 sun salutations. And you're just focusing on the breathing during those and letting the sun salutations become a form of a moving meditation. And what's important that I stress in the beginning is that you settle into each pose, accepting where you are physically, focus on the breathing, and that focus is what allows the mind and body to become one, which is yoga. And that focus allows you to accept, allows you to not try to be somewhere, and letting all that type of mindset, I guess that's plural, go. You're just being in the present moment and just accepting yourself. Personally, and I know I say this, I know for a fact that I don't do the so-called proper yoga poses. For whatever reason, and I accept that. And I'm a yoga instructor, and I accept it because yoga is more than the poses. It's a lifestyle, but in regards to the hatha part, it's the focus on the breathing. And yoga is when the mind and body connects. So that's just what I wanted to share at the end. And I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. So namaste, peace and love.